contact you. He's downloaded the Hangout app.
Well,
oh, well, sweet. Now we're live. Welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall, presented by CrossroadsMMA.com. My name is Eddie Law. Now, this is Keyboard Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday, super evening, more for you guys than me, of course, but, and of course, me over here with the fucking sound on this computer. Sorry. Yeah, so I know we said we were supposed to have Mr. Smile and Sam on. We're working on it.
We're working on
difficulties. Yeah, tech difficulties. We'll get him on as soon as possible, hopefully. Regardless, a lot of shit to talk about. Fred Kirby, Aaron Robbins. We got plenty of shit to talk about. Fred, do you want to boast now or wait till later?
I'll wait till later. I'll just wait till later.
Just do it now.
No. We can't rush these things. Let's build into it. Let's ease into it, boys.
All right, well, let's talk about
it's been a long time coming, boys. It's been a long time coming.
All right, let's talk about the first card of the weekend. It was Thursday night. A fight night headlined by Paige Namajunas against Rose Van Zandt.
Paige Namajunas.
Rose Namajunas against Paige Van Zandt. It's fucking late, fellas. Fucking Van Zandt got exposed. And you know what? To her credit, she admitted it. She admitted her technique's garbage. So I mean, look, I think Fred, you were the one that picked Paige, or you picked Rose?
No, I'm the one that picked Rose. I had a pretty good weekend calling fights against you cocksuckers as far as it goes. Listen, this fight actually played out exactly how I thought it would. I thought that Paige Van Zandt's striking was a bit overrated. Her pressure game is tight, but I didn't think that it would work against Rose, and it just didn't. Rose's grappling is serviceable enough that shit wasn't going to work. And you've seen every time they got close, Paige would get fucking peppered up. Her striking was not ready for somebody like Rose. And even if she did have a bit of the ability to out-grapple her or to outpace her, getting socked in the face every fucking 30 seconds kind of takes that out of you. So, yeah, man, Rose looked great. And Paige is, I wouldn't say this completely fucking dulls her shine. Listen, Paige Van Zandt was supposed to fight Joanne Calderwood. That fight would have went how the UFC and I think everybody would have hoped it would have went. I think she would have won that fight. Rose came in on late notice, and it was just too much of a step up in competition for her.
Yeah, but I mean, Rose gained by beating down Paige's height. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, she did.
She gained quite a bit, so she ended up winning in that. Oh, fucking Andy's going 5:00 fucking clock in the fucking morning. Sorry, Andy.
Hey man, we're trying.
We're working on it. I hope we get it figured out. And so now Rose looks. I don't know. Look, she might be suspended for 6 months. For the medical suspensions. They suspend everybody. It doesn't even matter. But Rose is gonna be out possibly for 6 months. Paige for longer. So the rumor out right now is that Claudia Gadelha and Joanna Jędrzejczyk are gonna coach the next Tough. What do you think of that, Fred?
Yeah, why not, man? Honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea because I don't think nobody gives a flying fuck about Tough as it is.
We lost.
That was like a magic trick. I suppose he's going to come back with Sam Alvey. That's what I'm fucking hoping happens there.
All right.
Not to shit on the women's strawweight division, man, but I don't think nobody really cares about Tough. And if you're going to have the belt on the shelf for a while, why not? Why not let them coach Tough and maybe try to get some female strawweights and thicken up that division a bit too? I don't. Works for me, Jack.
No, definitely. And so, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just you. I thought you was going to come back with Smiling Sam.
No, I'm trying. Okay, so
Now you're
anyway,
on your phone.
yeah, all I had to do was just hit the link, and it brought me right over to Google Hangouts. So I don't know. I'll try to retrieve Sam.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, so try to retrieve Sam. That's fun. All right, let's talk about another fight. You picked you're a fan of one Mr. Sage Northcutt, and I picked Cody Pfister to be able to take him down. In the first round, he actually did pretty well against Sage, and then Sage beast motored his ass and guillotined him in the second round. What you think of that shit? You think Sage is ready for some better competition?
No, not exactly, not quite yet. I think he's a good kid. He's explosive. He's athletic. He's fun to watch, and he's exciting. He's got a little bit of a, honestly, I like anybody that kind of has a bit of hype around them because it's good for the sports. You know what I'm saying? It builds interest and shit. So somebody like him is tight. But I'll tell you this. The little dude bothers me. I'm not going to bullshit you. The cute little prick bothers me. He's just got this fucking doe-eyed innocence about him that, quite frankly, annoys the piss out of me. He's just like, oh, hey, Mr. Dana, Mr. Lorenzo, thank you guys so much. And then when he gave me the old, if everybody out there could please just Google John 3:16. Hey, man, you know what? Save that shit for Sunday afternoon, huh?
Yeah, right.
I'm good on the Google and John 3:16. I dig it and all, Sage. You're cute, but, you know, fucking sit down. Be quiet. But his performance was all right. Although, listen, he lost the first round, right?
Oh, for sure he lost the first round.
So, and, you know, no disrespect to Cody Pfister, but if he's going to lose the first round to him, he still has quite a ways to go. I would not get cute with Sage Northcutt. He's a 55, right? Lightweight?
It's a good question.
He's a lightweight. He's a lightweight.
Oh, yeah, 155 for sure.
Yeah. So you know, that's a fucking Shark Tank, dog. They need to be careful with him.
Mind you, 19 years old. He's gonna get older. His body's gonna grow, and he's not gonna be able to control it. He will be a 170 at some point. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think it'll be soon too. Now, what do you think of your boy Aljo? I think Aljo makes Sterling look great. Mind you, it's against a guy that hasn't fought forever.
Yeah, I thought he looked fantastic, man. And 145 is he's a featherweight, right? No, he's 35. He's bantamweight. Yeah, he's bantamweight. Okay, yeah, and bantamweight needs somebody like him, man. Somebody charismatic and kind of fucking because you know, listen, after Dillashaw and Cruz get after it, what's happening at 35, man? There's not a whole lot of exactly. There's not a lot of fresh blood or fresh contenders there. So Aljo gives us a very fucking talented contender fucking in that weight division. So that's tight. And he looked really fucking good. He was on point.
Yeah. And then the other fight on this card that was actually kind of interesting. Actually, that's kind of it. Kylan Curran is sexy as all hell. I'll tell you that.
She opened the card up, right?
She opened it up. Rear naked choke win over Emily Kagan. That shit didn't even look like it was solid, you know, like it was tight. So
right.
Andy tweeting over saying Sage will end up dead in a motel bathtub surrounded by maggot-infested hookers. He's probably right. And then Mike Driver saying at least this guy sense of humor with that picture of Sage Northcutt getting I don't know what the hell they're doing to him. What the fuck are they doing to him?
I don't know, but they're not checking him to see if it's real. And I tell you what, I don't think that sense of humor is very funny, Mr. Sage Northcutt. I think you're very real, you cute little prick.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Moving on to the other card. Look, this guy made a big splash this weekend, especially because he got a knockout. Frankie Edgar KO and Chad Mendes was huge. Possibly the next guy to get a title shot 145, whether or not McGregor stays, right?
Well, no doubt. He has to get the next title shot at 45. Whether McGregor stays, comes, goes, no matter what happens at 45, the next time the featherweight belt gets defended, it will be against Frankie Edgar. Whether Conor has to vacate it or defend it or whatever, I mean, Frankie's got to be that guy, right? I mean, has to be.
Has to be that guy. Look, and that guy's gotten passed over so many fucking times. It's ridiculous. It's just sad. And if he gets passed over again, it'll be stupid. All right, and then Tony Ferguson's a bad motherfucker. Can we agree on that?
You know what? No.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. He's a bad
Tony
motherfucker.
Ferguson is a bad motherfucker. Yes, he is. He is. But I gotta be. I'm still. Fuck it. I'm still not sold. I'm telling you, it's cute little fucking wheel rolls and shit. I'm not. I don't buy it, man. I think he had his hands full with Edson Barboza. I think Edson Barboza gasses like a fucking old truck, and I don't know, man. I'm not sold on him as a title contender. Certainly not. I think that, and I know I said it last time. I think that Tony Ferguson will lose his next fight. Who would you like to see him fight next? And do you think that he'll be able to make it to a title shot?
Oh, dude, Ferguson. What is he? He's a 55, right?
Yep.
Just like you were saying a second ago, that guy's a Shark Tank. He ain't getting a title shot until next year, like mid next year at the earliest, right? I mean, who do we have right now? Cerrone and RDA about to fight for the title. Other 55ers up there that they're talking about Conor going up. They're doing all those things now, right? So I think it'll be a while before Tony Ferguson gets a shot. And who would I want to see him against?
I'll tell you what.
Anthony Pettis.
Well, no, I was going. No, well, listen. Me and Aaron was having this conversation the other day off air because he likes to ride Tony Ferguson's dick. And he said, who do you think will beat him? And I said, give him the loser of Eddie Alvarez, Anthony Pettis. And I think the loser of that fight will beat Tony Ferguson, let alone the winner. I think if Anthony Pettis fought Tony Ferguson, he would destroy Tony Ferguson, because I think Anthony Pettis does all the shit that fucking Tony Ferguson does better and right.
You know what? I would agree with you on that. I think Pettis beats Ferguson. I think Ferguson beats Alvarez though. If it comes to that, I think he beats Alvarez. Really?
Well, we'll see what happens when he fights Pettis. But I don't know. I'm just not sold on Tony Ferguson, man. He pulled that win out, but he took a bit of a beating doing it.
Oh yeah, he took some shit. Yeah. He ended up getting the Bravo choke, but still, that was harsh. I'm a Joe Lozon fan. That shit was just sad for me to watch. For Evan Dunham just to pick him apart the way he did. You guys see that fight?
Yeah.
Sad as shit.
I guess at this point, I hate to fucking do this shit and be these guys like, well, do you think that guy should retire? None of our fucking business. And Joe Lozon has earned the right to fight as long as he wants, beyond shitbirds like us fucking telling him he should hang him up. But fuck it, in the spirit of having fun, do you want to see Joe Lozon fight again, or what would you like to see him do? Before you answer, I'll say what I would like to see. I would like to see him fight again, just not in the UFC. This is why I think Bellator does serve a purpose. There are a lot of guys who are in this weird limbo who I would still like to see fight, but you don't want to see them really get hurt against too elite of competition, and they're surely not going to fight for any belts in the UFC. No. I feel like a lot of guys kind of fall into that limbo. They need a place to fight. They need to earn a living. And I would still like to watch Joe Lozon fight, and I still think that he's very competitive on a certain level, but in the upper echelons in the UFC, not so much, not no more.
I tell you what, that competitiveness will get him freaking hurt bad. It's weird. I wouldn't mind seeing, although I wouldn't mind seeing him against Nate Diaz and see if he can get that fight to the ground quickly. But who fuck knows? A couple tweets over. Andrew says Potato Goblin versus Edgar in Dublin will be the next fight. Munch saying that Sage was the highest paid fighter on that fight card. Okay, that's cool. Not surprised though. And then Andrew is saying he's desperate to fight in Dublin, and neither RDA or Cabo will go there. Edgar will. So he's saying he's calling Edgar McGregor in Dublin. What up?
Edro, are you seeing the group thing that Eddie's got us in, or that Aaron's got us in with Sam? Another group DM on Twitter. He wants you to send the link to that one, I think.
There it is. Okay, cool.
Bam, put the link in that bitch.
Working on that shit. All right. Anyway,
so that was the tough card, right? The tough finale card.
The one with Sage.
No.
What we're talking about? Yeah, that was a tough finale.
Okay. What was the other fight? Was there anything else on that card other than the finale?
Other than Edgar Chad Mendez, the finale between Ryan Hall and Artem Lobov was abysmal. Not abysmal, because look, Ryan Hall's jiu-jitsu is legit, and Artem Lobov couldn't do jack shit about it. But as far as entertaining, that fight was all right,
Well, I guess I kind of look at it too as just like upside for the winner in the division.
For sure.
Ryan Hall's dope. Like you said, his jiu-jitsu is fucking slick, but I mean, come on, right? Like how it worked against LeBron, but where's it really going to go? You know what I mean? I don't think. Like I said, his jits look slick, but other than that, he didn't look all that impressive, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy fought I think he fought at 155 for this one, if I'm not mistaken. So he was undersized, undersized. He's a normal 145 or 135, I'm pretty sure. So once he gets down to those weights, those are guys that are good at everything, including jiu-jitsu. So that's going to cancel out. So this guy's going to have to throw hands, and
for sure,
he's not very good at that.
Right. I mean, he can always fucking step his game up, and his boxing can always improve. But I mean, his jiu-jitsu slick, but that's not going to be enough to contend. He will have to get better in leaps and bounds soon.
Yeah, if he's going to get better in striking, start right the fuck now, and don't go to Edmonds. Go to fucking anywhere else. but Edmund. Fucking that guy's a sack of shit. All right. Moving on to UFC. Well, actually, no, we talked about last week about Ronda staying with Edmund.
I don't know. Yeah, I think we did. No, listen, bad idea. Bad idea.
Stupid. Yeah. Fucking stupid. Before we get to 194, so we can give Aaron and Sam a chance to get on here. What the hell?
We can do the undercard. Where we get on the undercard of 194.
Let's get on the undercard for UFC 194. Court McGee pulls off a decision against Marcio Alexandre.
Missed it.
Yeah, don't worry, you didn't miss much. Yancey pulled off a miracle decision over John McDessie, and McDessie got robbed hard. And you missed that one too?
Yeah, I did miss that one, but I heard that it was a really bad decision.
Dude, awful. Even you guys know, in the picks, I picked Yancey. I was only
right. That was one of the fights I lost.
Well, I was happy that he won. I was like, there's no way he won that fight. There's just no way he won the fight. So after that, the Russian, one of the newer Russians, this scary bastard. I know you didn't see it, but you should look it up on YouTube. This Magomed Mustafayev guy murdered Joe Proctor. I mean, put a hurting on him that will make you think that Khabib ain't shit.
Damn.
I mean,
he fucked him
up. TKO. He just fucked him up. Like, nice. He fucked him up hard. Hit Joe with a knee to the liver, I think it was, and then just, like, went ahead and just, I've never seen more savage punches in that division. What division is that? 155, whatever. But
Dagestanian kid.
Yeah. I think so. Crestonian. I don't know. Fucking Sherdog and UFC have different fucking info on this guy.
Eastern Bloc.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, what do you think of that Kevin Lee fight, man? I did not expect that shit to go down the way it did.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of surprised at that too, right? Kevin Lee had a massive amount of hype, right? And that's what happens with the hype train sometimes. Oh shit, Dr. Phil's.
Okay, can you send somebody an invite?
If I have his email, yeah.
I'm not gonna say it live.
Obviously.
I will DM it to you.
Do that. Yeah, we don't want a bunch of the second you put someone's email out there, it's gonna get the sea of dick pics. You can hear the sea of dick pics is coming his way immediately.
I love that. That's where your mind went first. Would be the dick pic.
It's the internet. What do you expect? What do you expect? It's a fucking internet. We put your email out there, you get a bunch of hairy dick pics. That's all it would be.
All right, where are we on the show?
Talk about the UFC 194 undercard, but we want to go back. What do you think of Frankie Edgar next for the title? I mean, look, he's the next guy at 145 for sure, right? Whether or not Conor stays.
Yeah, without.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. What do I think? Well, I didn't think the outcome would happen like it did. So at this point, I guess I don't know. Frankie's durable. And he knocked out Mendez, which was kind of shocking. But the whole turn of events with Dana wanting him to go to 155 and immediately fighting for a title, pretty soon they're just going to call this the Conor McGregor Fighting Championships.
Oh, it's getting there already. The fucking invite won't send. This is stupid.
That's Could it be because he has an iPhone?
No, it just won't send. Normally it will send. And now it won't send. I don't know why. Oh, fucking I'm stupid. Sorry.
This is what I told Sam. Sam promises us that he does have a shaved face. He said he owes you that, Kirby. I told him that we would get it doped out and have him back in 2 weeks. So our show after Christmas, we will invite Sam back, and we will figure out how to get him on this goddamn show. If there's any techie, geeky people out there who know how to make this bullshit work on an iPhone, because he said when he clicks the link, it brings him to the iPhone store for Hangouts. And then when he clicks on open, he said it's a person with one eye waving at him.
That's terrifying. Fucking Cyclops.
I want to see that shit, like right now.
Settle down.
So if there's any iPhone users watching right now, tell us what the fuck is up with that shit.
I got the invite to go through, so now we just wait and see. Otherwise, it's just going to the show like normal.
Right.
It's our last-ditch effort. Fred, the Eastern Bloc doesn't exist anymore, says Andrew.
Yeah, I know, fucking Andrew. Jesus Christ. Have a fucking cup of tea.
Oh, shit. What do you guys think about Edgar? Because right now I've seen on Twitter that he is begging Conor not to go to 155.
I don't fucking blame him for doing that. I'll give you that. Listen, I think he definitely deserves a title shot, right? Like me and Eddie were talking about before. He's got to be the guy. If Conor stays, obviously he's the guy, and if Conor leaves or vacates the title, clearly Frankie's the next fucking guy in line at 45, no matter what happens there. I don't know. Just quickly, I tell you this. I don't think that I would like to see Conor get an immediate title shot at 55.
Okay.
I think it could be bigger. Listen, something like that should be built, in my opinion. I could see him taking a fight at 55. Top 3, top 4 guy, somebody that could really establish something, and then coming back and defending the belt against Frankie at 45, and then maybe going back up to 55. I don't think it's a great idea for him to fight immediately for the championship. Who else has done that? BJ Penn did it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody else really has. And the only reason it really worked. Go ahead.
Got from the venerable Andrew Reed. I tried Hangouts on my iPhone. It refused to work. I'm telling you, it's the Apple Google bullshit.
That's probably what it is.
It wouldn't make sense. I mean, Apple and Google never got along at all. So yeah, unfortunately, I guess that's what it's gonna be this time. So I have an iPhone. I've never seen that before. You need a nerd, says Adam. We do need a nerd. That's very true.
But listen. BJ Penn had a history with GSP, so it made a little more sense. He had actually fought that dude before and arguably beat him. Conor just going straight to 55 and fighting the champion doesn't make a shitload of sense. You know what I'm saying? Even fucking Anderson, when he was the fucking king of kings, fought silly-ass James Irvin at 205. We could totally give Conor, a name at 55 that he can kind of go up and style against and build a possible title fight at 55.
Well, yeah, I mean, and look, obviously they're not going to listen to us, but they're going to give him that. If he moves up, they're going to give him that title shot now. And we haven't even talked about 194 yet, or the main card anyway. But Conor's saying he doesn't want to drop the 145 belt if he moves up. I mean, who's going to win that tug of war? Zuffa, who's more than likely, or UFC, who's more likely going to want him to drop that 145 belt if he moves up, or Conor, as far as keeping both belts, or keeping that belt and then going for 155.
You want to go ahead, Dr. Phil? Fuck it, let me go. This whole idea that Conor is going to get bigger than the UFC thing, I think people need to just shut the fuck up about. Okay? Conor's big. He is a star. But don't get it twisted, man. Nobody is bigger than the UFC. They never will be. And Conor will not be either. This whole thing with Conor, I'll give it to you, Dr. Feelgood. You was right about one thing. He hasn't lost yet. And nothing has, now the star's even bigger and brighter than ever. But he goes up to 55, says, I'm going to kill Cowboy. And he comes out there and gets fucking knocked out with a head kick. It's all over. And the UFC keeps on trucking. And they make money off of his loss. So believe me, at the end of the day, Conor is cute. But he's not he's not the fucking UFC. He is not MMA.
I tell you what, if he does go and get a title shot against Cowboy, hopefully Cowboy, I want to see Sage Northcutt against a legit fighter on that same card. Because when Sage loses and McGillicuddy gets knocked out, I want to see Dana White have a coronary and die in the cage.
That's the thing, though. I think a lot of that shit is overstated for us. I mean, listen, I think Dana White don't really give a fuck. Mm-hmm. I think he really don't, man. I mean,
he looks like he gives a fuck.
Man, but I don't think it's about certain fighters losing, though, man. Listen, the UFC didn't have Conor McGregor 2 years ago, and then out of nowhere, the cute little Irish prick pops up, can't shut his fucking mouth up, and bam. There wasn't even women in the UFC 3 or 4 years ago, and then Ronda Rousey becomes the biggest star. There will always be another and a new one, man. I think Dana White gets that.
I look at it this way, and Fred and I have talked off air, and I know Andrew can't stand the Spud botherer, the whatever. And that's all fine. You don't have to like him. But you do have to admit he's got great movement. He's got great power at 145, where he is, I would argue, oversized. He is a big 145er.
Huge.
155ers are much bigger. That power does not, I don't think that power is going to translate to 155. Now, the difference being this. Now, when Anderson Silva, arguably the greatest fighter of our age, went up and fought James Irving, he fought James Irving.
Right.
I mean, let's be fucking realistic. And that fight even looks suspect. When he popped James Irving in his face, Irving went down and went, "You're going to hit me some more because I'm all done. I made my payday. That was great. I got my bad boy tattoo on my ribs. Awesome. I'm going to sleep." You put Conor McGregor, let's say hypothetically Cowboy wins. You're talking about a dude who is a very, very good striker, on a 9-fight win streak, a lot of momentum behind him, with arms that are longer, legs that are longer, and a frame that is bigger. I don't know. I think I think this is just to keep the conversation going, but I don't know. I think they keep him around at 145 to finish business with Edgar.
You know what? And Cowboy's a big 155, if I'm not mistaken. He's a pretty big 155. But let's look at the top 5 or 6 of lightweight and see if Conor beats him. Conor against Anthony Pettis. Who you taking?
I don't know.
All right, boys. Let me
that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point.
Let me put it to you like this. Do you believe at this point with Conor, had Chad Mendes not gassed, could Chad hold him down that whole fight?
I think so.
No.
He was doing all right at first.
No, I don't. I don't buy the idea of Chad Mendes gassing, really, to be completely fucking honest with you. I think that little prick's in great condition all the time. Conor kept fucking kicking him in his gut.
That's true.
He fucking slept Jose with one punch.
It doesn't matter why he gassed. He was gassed.
But no, I don't. I think eventually Conor's strikes would have taken their toll on Chad regardless.
Okay, but I think that you get him in with RDA, you get him in with Pettis, you get him in with a high-caliber 155 wrestler, and I think they hold Conor down all day.
Very, very well could be. Well, listen, like you said, man, weight divisions exist for a reason, and I think that
let's be brutally honest about old Jose's plan. It was probably just about as good as Kat Zingano's plan up against Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Okay.
He's known for his leg kicks, and the first thing he does is wade in a punching exchange.
Let's go. Where are we at in the card? Sam's probably not going to join us, so we don't got to worry about missing 194. Let's go ahead and start at the bottom before we get into the whole fucking Conor Jose fight.
Okay.
Well, there ain't going to be much to talk about. This fucker got starched in 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot to talk about with where we go from there with both those guys.
Well, let's keep moving here. Warley Alves submitted guillotine Colby Covington, whatever.
Okay, no, I do want to bring that up.
Okay.
Because my opinions on Warley Alves have been solidified during that Alan Jouban fight, which is a mistake on my part. Warley's fucking huge, first off. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And you got a guy who's known for what? He's known for his great squeeze and his guillotine. And then Colby Covington sticks his head in his armpit. And here's another thing I want to say, and I actually commented on this. I've shared this, and I tagged you guys, and you fucking pansies didn't back me up. Right away with the, "I'm so sorry I lost for the first time, but I had cracked ribs and bruised cartilage, and my pussy was bleeding, and blah, blah, blah." How come these, I mean, seriously, right? All these guys would whip my ass. Let me put that out first, that caveat. All these guys would beat my ass. But I think they cheapen their own loss. They cheapen themselves when it's always the injury. Can't they just be like, "I done fucked up. Time to hit the gym again. I'll see you guys in a couple of months." It's always with the staph and the cellulitis and the crack and the hurt that. What the fuck are these guys doing that they all have cellulitis?
It's true, man. It's true.
I mean, and, you know, it's great. Colby Covington, you got your first loss. You probably learn a lot. Warley Alves, you're a better fighter. But don't immediately go over to fucking... What's that gals that does all the after fight interviews?
Karen Bryant?
No, Megan
O'Leary?
Yeah, O'Leary.
Sexy ass Megan O'Leary.
If they won, it's thank you, Jesus. If they lost, it was an injury.
Yeah.
Nobody said, like, I didn't need Jesus. He's out in Africa taking care of those kids. We're good. We're good here.
Exactly. I'm waiting for them to be like, "I won because of an injury and I lost because of Jesus."
That would be pretty good. I'm waiting for the dude that gets pissed off at Jesus. Like, yo,
why did you lose? Jesus? Yoel Romero was taking all his fucking time, and Jesus didn't have time to have you win, fucking Yoel Romero and Jesus.
Yoel and fucking Vitor, man, took all Jesus' time and shit.
Not enough Hail Marys.
Fucking, see, hey, one day we'll see Nick Diaz if he ever, becomes born again or some shit. He'll be like, "Where you at, Jesus, motherfucker? What the fuck? Why you let me get slept, bitch?" Stockton. All right, moving on. Tisha Torres takes on RFA champ, former RFA champ, Jocelyn Jones-Ledberger, and kind of goes for a decision. I mean, honestly,
I'll tell you what, Jocelyn, what's her face can take a beating.
That chick is tough as fuck. But look, the most entertaining part was the end of that fight.
Travis Brown next.
You what?
She should date Travis Brown next. It'd be fine.
Oh.
Ha
All right, you just want to get everyone beat up. All right. Fuck it. All right, Uriah Faber gets a decision win over Frankie Saenz. That actually turned into a pretty good scrap.
That was a goddamn great fight. Frankie Saenz is a goddamn zombie.
Dude, what the fuck? That guy
didn't one asshole have it 30-27 Uriah?
Yeah.
I tweeted out during that fight, those judges have those fucking scores predetermined in their brain pan sometimes.
It doesn't make any sense.
He didn't win all 3 rounds. Saenz looked good in one of those rounds, real good.
Especially after Faber gas himself out trying to finish fucking Saenz. That was impressive. Saenz came back like, yeah, what, bitch?
I wasn't extremely impressed with Uriah, to be honest with you, man. Like, I was kind of like, actually, towards the end of that fight, I kind of felt like maybe this was his swan song a bit. Like, he will get a bigger fight, obviously, next, but I don't know. Does anybody think he's got anything for the elite at 35 at this point?
He hasn't in a long time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he hasn't done shit in a long time.
Well, what the fuck? At least he's been getting. I don't know. I don't even think he's worthy of the title fight now. Really, like that was.
And he's trying, and he wants it too. He wants the winner of T.J. Cruz.
Oh shit! How many times do we have to see Cruz whip his ass?
At least one more time, please. That shit was fun.
Now, we're off track here, but what do you guys think about that fight, Dillashaw Cruz?
Cruz, man. Barring injury, I think Cruz is too good. That guy. I mean, have you heard him break down fights? He's a fucking scientist. All right. And TJ needs old fucking Vyvanse needing fucking Dwayne Van Ludwig.
Not for nothing. I sleep better at night with Dominic Cruz, the champion.
You know what? Listen, man. Honestly, I don't know what to think about that fight. I mean, there's a lot to make about Dominic Cruz being off for so long, and I know that a lot of people can point to the Mizugaki fight and say, well, he starts him quickly. Quite frankly, Mizugaki moves like a fucking zombie. TJ Dillashaw does not. TJ Dillashaw is going to give Dominic Cruz an interesting look that he hasn't had in a very long time, and I think his ring rust might be a bit more of a problem against somebody like TJ Dillashaw who's young, on their game. And believe me, TJ Dillashaw as champ rubs me the same way that fucking RDA as champ does. I don't love it. He doesn't feel like a great champion yet, but I'm not going to get too fucking high on Dominic Cruz just because he snuffed out Mizugaki in the last fucking decade. It could be a lot closer than people think. I think that Dominic Cruz will be the betting favorite, and I don't know if that will be appropriate.
All right. What do we got left in this show? Like 15 minutes? So we got to get to the co-main and the main, right? Where are we at on this?
We're at 32 minutes. But so about 15
never mind. We got to waste. Fuck it.
Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes where we are.
The main card.
We're one of the main card.
Yeah.
Max Holloway, man. Max Holloway, look, he worked the game plan that worked. It wasn't the most exciting. Okay, it wasn't the fight people expected. Everyone expected a bloody war and shit, especially with Stevens in there. But Max Holloway worked his game plan. Stayed away, didn't get hurt, and basically point fighting him to a win. And that's kind of what you want to do against Stevens now.
Oh, did we talk about Tony Ferguson, Fred? Tony Ferguson?
Yeah, okay, you know what? Yeah, we did talk about him. I tell you what, you go fuck yourself. You and little herky-jerky fucking Tony. I'm not. Color me not impressed.
Tony Ferguson? How could you not be impressed with that fucking fight? Are you shitting me?
Listen, the fight was fun. Tony Ferguson, I am not sold on. You think he's going to be a future champion? Are you fucking high?
I think he has a good shot.
I think you are fucking high.
Okay, he fights RDA today. He loses?
Fuck yeah, RDA's on steroids.
Poor Cowboy.
All right.
Tell Cowboy.
Fuck it. That's a debate for another day.
Of course. Okay. Well, where are we at? Who opened up the main card of? Oh yeah, Holloway. I don't know, man. I wasn't extremely impressed with either guy. Jeremy Stevens looked like he got gun shy as fuck. I don't blame Max for fighting the fight that he fought. I guess you got to be careful with a guy like Jeremy Stevens.
Yep.
And he was careful, but that's one of those fights, man.
Hey,
Maybe
at least he had the nutsack to say it was a bad performance, and Joe was all like, "No, it wasn't a bad performance." Hey, I'll tell you what, let him tell the truth, Joe. Yeah. Nobody liked that fight.
It was one of those things too, where I think that had the expectations not been so high, it wouldn't have been kind of a letdown. But Holloway's on such a tear. Jeremy Stevens is usually such an exciting fighter. It felt like it would be like, like Eddie said, a bloodbath and a war. And then when it wasn't, it's kind of like, eh.
I'll tell you what, you're smart to play that game with Jeremy Stevens.
Yep.
Because, as everybody remembers, he damn near paralyzed RDA with that uppercut.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time I see Jeremy Stevens, that's all I ever see is RDA.
I know. Me too. That's why I can't take RDA seriously as champ, man. I'm telling you, it's that knockout win that just does it for me. I can't get over it.
He dusted him.
All right, let's talk Damian Maia against Gunnar Nelson. Gunnar Nelson was talking shit before the fight, saying, if it goes to the ground, I'll be fine. I'll be all right. So instead of doing the smart thing and keeping it on the feet, this motherfucker let himself get taken down.
What do you mean let it go down? He had no fucking choice.
He had no choice. Damian Maia took
him down like he was a child and then beat his ass. And I like what Damian Maia had to say, even though it was in broken, weird-ass English. We talked to him. Nice guy. He's like, now what the fuck's up with Neil Magny? I snuffed that prick. He fights Kelvin Gastelum. He's higher in the ranks than me. He's like, the UFC ranks is bullshit. I'm 38 years old over here. Give me the title shot.
That's what he wanted to say.
No, and he's right. He's right. He's right. You know what I mean? What? Yeah, what?
No, yeah. Go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you have a point.
I think that and this fight does kind of make me sad, man, because shit panned out right for me in the Conor fight, but I kind of really like Gunnar Nelson, and I thought maybe this would be the fight for him to kind of break out in. I thought maybe that Rick story was just a little blip. But listen, man, this is the difference between high-level jiu-jitsu and fucking, expert fucking, goddamn it, 6 Dan level. Maia is probably the best grappler in MMA because he has what most BJJ guys don't have, which is fucking amazing takedowns. Has that dude ever not been able to take somebody down in a fight?
Maya always gets at least one takedown, I think. Maybe not Anderson Silva. Did he take Anderson Silva down?
I think he at least got him down once. I think maybe Anderson got up, but I think he got the takedown once. But
I don't remember.
Maybe in that fight. But ordinarily, Damian Maia has the most fucking effective takedowns in pretty much all of MMA. And, he showed why, what the fuck. So, where does Gunnar go from here? Obviously, Damian's, on a short list of title contenders at 170 now, I would think,
Well, look.
I think that's the same thing as Stipe Miocic. I think Damian Maia would probably have to kill somebody in the ring to get a title shot.
Well, check this out.
Nobody wants Damian Maia. Can you imagine that shit? If he climbs up on Robbie Lawler's back and chokes him out, everybody on earth would be sad.
A little bit, yeah. But look, Damian Maia is now number 5 ranked in welterweight. So the top 5, besides obviously champion Robbie Lawler, number 1 Rory McDonald, number 2 Tyron Woodley, number 3 Johnny Hendricks, 4 is Carlos Condit, and then Damian Maia. He doesn't beat one of the guys above him to get.
You know what? This is funny. Let me say something here. Of those guys you named, ironically enough, the guy I think that he has the best chance in beating is fucking Robbie Lawler. I think that if he can not get knocked out immediately, I don't think he necessarily will, and he can drag Robbie to the mat in the first round. Listen, Jake Shields threw a fucking standing guillotine on Robbie Lawler's funny ass not too terribly long ago. Now, I know he's evolved a lot since then, but Damian is, another level of grappler, man.
The reason why I kind of disagree with that, but I can see where you're coming from, and let me tell you what, my butthole would tighten up like a snare drum if they fought each other, is that the difference between Gunnar Nelson and Robbie Lawler is fucking brute retard strength. That is what Gunnar did not have any sense of urgency. When Damian Maia is on top of you, you best be urgent to get the fuck out. And he was just like,
Okay, his face never changes. His face never fucking changes. So it's like he was.
No, but I'll tell you what, Carlos Condit, I don't think Damian Maia gets past him.
Nope.
Tyron Woodley, maybe.
He would have to look. First of all, Maia would have to somehow avoid Tyron Woodley's fucking savage ass punches for at least a round, right? Maybe
you know what? That's the fight that I'd like to see. Just because they keep Tyron on the shelf forever.
Yeah.
Throw Maya at him. If Maya takes on Tyron Woodley, then you can't fucking deny him.
Tyron don't have a fight yet? I thought he had a fight.
Maybe. Seems like it's been 2 years since the sumbitch fought.
I think he's trying to wait a title shot out. But no, wait a minute.
You're right. Somebody missed weight.
Fighting, right?
What?
Him and Johnny Hendricks, right?
No. Hendricks missed weight. Remember, he didn't even show up to the fight. He wasn't even make it. So Woodley made weight, and he was told he was going to get the title shot.
Ah, that's right.
That sounds like some bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not going to get the title shot.
You get the title shot just because Johnny Hendricks a fat fuck. Know what I mean?
Look, Ryan Hall gets around. Apparently, Ryan Hall's now training at Jackson's.
Yeah, well, he's going to need more than that.
Andy's saying Maya's jiu-jitsu was sublime.
It was, dog. Maya's jiu-jitsu is probably the best in the fucking game right now. It's fucking amazing.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Who sent this? Mike Jarvis? I do not give a shit about Ryan fucking Hall. the last fucking thing the UFC is fucking Kenny Florian light. I do not give a shit about that backpack.
That's actually kind of true. That's actually pretty fucking true. Hey, do you know Johnny Hendricks is actually going to fight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at 196?
Yep.
That's right. I seen that on the card the other night.
You better not eat no goddamn venison.
Who wins that one?
I hope Wonderboy.
Me too. Get Johnny the fuck out of there. Send his ass to RFA or something. I'm tired of seeing him. You know what I mean?
Not even.
Skip Bellator was his fighting.
Give me my spitter and a can of Skull.
Oh, fucking A. All right. Next fight we got to talk about is Yoel Romero against Jacare. Jacare losing a split decision to Yoel Romero. I did not agree with it. I thought Jacare won that fight.
Man, I'll tell you what. That fucking cage grab
was
so blatant, and it changed the outcome of the fight. Isn't that the criteria for taking a point? It was blatant, it was intentional, and it changed the outcome. Jacare would have got top position. You know he would have. I don't give a shit about fucking Goddard coming out and being like, well, you had top position, now you lost it. No. Bring him to the God, that cheating son of a bitch. He always gets away with some shit like this. Using the old shit as pants defense, or whether it's sitting on the goddamn fucking stool too long. And you see that motherfucker, they told him once, don't pour that goddamn water all over yourself. Second and third, there's 10 seconds left. They said, stool's out.
Yeah.
Fucking head, that guy. Fuck that guy, man. That was some bullshit.
Yeah, you know, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Jack. And Yoel Romero takes that shit to heart.
That motherfucker's trying real hard. No, I know Jesus. I know I win. I hear Jesus. What? Why is Jesus always on your side, Yoel? How come Jesus wasn't on Jacare's side?
Jesus helped him win.
Son of a bitch. I want to know, did Jesus whisper in your ear, grab the cage?
What verse is that shit at? I want to see that in the Bible somewhere.
Exactly. Fucking
asshole 316, grab the cage.
Grabbeth the cage.
Oh, fuck. I'm glad to keep it words. We defend everybody right now. Fucking.
So what, though? But, Yoel's next in line, more than likely, right?
Yeah, and then Luke's going to snuff him.
Which brings us, okay. Yeah.
Luke
Rockhold, new middleweight champion after beating the shit out of Chris Weidman. And in the third round, somehow that fight didn't get stopped at the end of the third round. That was amazing. And, fucking punch after punch after punch. How many punches do you have to take in a row before they stop the goddamn fight?
Okay, here's the thing. Fuck that noise. He is the champion of the world. Yep. You give him every goddamn opportunity to recover from that. Do not stop. I was yelling at the TV. Herb, do not stop the goddamn fight. If the champion of the world wants to stop a fight because he's getting hit in his face, he'll say stop it or tap the mat. That boy was trying his best. And you don't win the fucking middleweight champion of the world with these little pity. He was bleeding, and yes, he was swelled up. But bullshit. I think Herb was 100% right. That's a championship fight, and that's the only time where I say the ref can let it go a little bit long. Because I'll tell you what, all these bleeding pussies on fucking social media would be more butt tore had they stopped it too early. Then Luke isn't the real champion. Oh, fuck Luke Rockhold. He didn't really win. Well, he really won. And all you fuckers saying that Herb Dean was smoking weed before that fight, and that's why I let it go on too long, no. Most weed smokers are pacifists and don't want to see people get their ass.
Fact.
Yeah. What'd you think, Kirby?
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. Everybody was giving Herb shit. I was the same way. I'm saying don't stop this fight. And it's not. We all picked Luke to win. I just didn't want to see the fight get stopped like that because, listen, you know why I didn't want to see the fight get stopped? Because there was like fucking 9 seconds left. He's already took 30, 40 seconds of punishment. We're close enough. Let it run out. And if he's that, badly beaten, he won't be able to make the bell anyways. But don't fucking stop it with 2 seconds left in the goddamn round when it's the fucking undefeated champion laying there taking the beating. Now, I'll say this. I think that fucking spinning fucking back heel kick.
Stupid.
Yeah, like Kat Zingano stupid. Because I'll tell you something, man. I think that Chris Weidman was starting to take control of that fight. If you go back and watch the fight, right before he tries that dopey fucking heel kick, he was landing some really good body kicks. And Luke was actually starting to wince. He was visibly starting to react to the kicks. Yeah. And, Luke's a bad motherfucker, man. So, and now that after the fight, he already said that he was kind of, his energy was sapped and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
cellulitis. It was cellulitis.
Right.
Everybody in the UFC has cellulitis. It's like The Walking Dead. Everybody got the zombie disease. Everybody in the UFC already has cellulitis. They're just waiting for it to attack him. He's like, oh yeah, my foot was all swelled up, cellulitis. Megan is cellulitis. Whatever. Tough. I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter if it's the biggest colossal blunder in the world. He threw that fucking heel kick, and Luke whipped his ass. And I like Luke as champion. I like it. I'd like to see him without cellulitis because normally he is a fucking badass. I'd like to see him not gas. And I'll tell you, that's one right there. I'd like to see a rematch. I would like to see Chris try again.
Immediately?
I don't know about immediately. I think Chris is the type of guy that's going to need a warm-up to get his confidence back.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that idea. Listen, at the end of the day, Yoel is a cheater, and he fucking said the gay Jesus shit. I don't care what he said. We fucking heard you, Yoel, on fucking live TV. I heard that shit.
He said forget.
Enough with that. But he deserves the title shot, man. You got to give the prick the title shot. I think him and Luke make a fun fight. And I'll tell you this. I think Luke wins that fight, but Luke better not get cute. Because Vitor stung the shit out of him that one time, and Yoel, if anything, is dangerous, and we know he'll cheat. So
yeah, I'll tell you what.
Be careful with that guy.
Yeah, he does have to be careful, but this is how I see that shit going down. Luke being smart enough to take big old Yoel off his fucking feet, make it dirty for the first round, second round, and sap some of that energy. And when Yoel starts to get into the later third and fourth and fifth round, you know that motherfucker is going to be sucking so much wind, it's done. If he survives the first two, it is done.
Every time Yoel Romero fights, I'm surprised this fucking makes weight. He's a giant human being.
He's a giant, and I'll tell you, I think Jacare's mistake, being a fucking couch warrior like I am, he didn't press Yoel. Guys who pressure him fucking wear him out. Let me tell you what. If old fucking shitty bird Tim Kennedy almost took out fucking Yoel Romero, come on. What the fuck?
I think Tim Kennedy's pretty tough, man. I think he's easy to shit on, but I think he is a pretty tough guy. Listen, I tell you what I think what surprised Jacare, you see in the first round, I think it was the first round, Jacare ended up on his back and he was like, come on. And Yoel jumped down there and started thunder striking the shit out of him. And I think fucking Jacare was like, motherfucker, this isn't quite like fucking sport jiu-jitsu. This dude's fucking clubber laying me. And I think that took a little bit out of him, that little beating he took in that first round.
I think what surprised Jacare is when Yoel spun his head 360 with that fucking back fist. That's what surprised him.
Yeah, true. That probably surprised him a bit too.
You know what? That fucking fight right there, he was so stunned by that and that ass whipping he took afterwards. I kind of wonder how much of that fight Jacare remembers.
It can't be that much.
Yeah. Now, I think that spinning back fist did hurt him pretty bad.
Now let's talk about real quick, Chris Weidman. Let's say he doesn't get an immediate rematch. Jacare?
Listen. That's a great fight, obviously, but do we want to do that? It kills. Because if you do Jacare Weidman, they're both coming off of losses. So one of them is going to be, then coming off of 2 losses, which isn't fucking fantastic. I like that fight, but not necessarily right now. Give them both an easier fight so they can both get a fucking win.
Well, here's the thing, because if Yoel Romero's next for Luke, if it isn't Chris Weidman, after him, Vitor Belfort, Lyoto Machida, Chris already beat both. Tim Kennedy against Chris Weidman, Michael Bisping, no. Robert Whittaker.
You know what? You know what? I don't hate Tim Kennedy against Chris Weidman.
Yeah. I don't, but still, I don't know if, he hasn't fought since last what, November, August.
Good, fuck him. Hopefully Chris breaks all of his ribs and he can go back and try to find fucking Hitler.
I've only seen one episode of that show, and the editing is perfect. It'll make you feel suspense when you know there isn't any. But still.
Yeah.
You watch that shit?
No, I watched one episode. Because I took a trip up to Shola, Arizona for a weekend to get the fuck away from here, and the only channel they had in the little fucking little country store they made breakfast burritos at was that whatever channel that thing's
the
on.
History Channel, right?
There you go.
Don't lie. Because I said you watched that shit, and you said, no, I watched one episode. So the answer is yes.
I watched one episode, so I don't watch that shit. Shit,
okay.
you mean...
Okay.
Fuck yourself. All right.
It's like you never experimented in college. We know.
I was drunk. Anyway. All right, so we talked about that. I was talking about the main event. This is the time Fred Kirby's been waiting for. I thought for sure Jose Aldo would fuck him up, but the floor is yours, Mr. Fred Kirby.
A lot like Mr. Connor, I'm going to take the high road. I'm not going to rub y'all's nose in it. I'm just going to fucking let the actions speak for themselves. Listen, man, at the end of the day, all bullshit aside, I'm glad he won because it keeps our sport interesting, right? Now, we got a bunch of topics to talk about. Is he going to stay at 45? Is he going to go to 55? And then, like I say, there are really people out there like, is he going to get bigger than the UFC? What's the UFC going to do with Conor McGregor? What the fuck? Nothing. Make a shitload of money, man. I mean, but the fucker is intriguing, man. He talks a lot of shit, and he's backing it up. I seen a video on Facebook, and if you talk enough shit, eventually something comes true. It's the Nostradamus effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at some interview that he had done leading up to the fight, he literally predicts the thing. He's like, Jose's going to come out, he's going to overextend, and I'm going to knock him dead. First round, first exchange. And then it cuts to him doing exactly that. It's the shit of you see in movies, man. So it's awesome that he won. I will say this, and I said this before we went live. I do not think that would ever happen like that again in a million years. He would never beat him with literally the second punch thrown like that again. That being said, just from the little exchange that they had, I do think that Conor wins that fight 9 times out of 10. Anybody can get clipped, but I just think he's a bigger, stronger striker. And listen, I've bought it before, but I definitely buy it now. I think that his idea on striking and the way he does things, even what he said at the end of the fight, man, precision beats power and timing beats speed. That's fucking brilliant, man. It's true. And the way he ended the fight kind of was that. His shit was precise, and it was fucking right on the money. It was timed perfectly, and Jose dropped like a fucking bag of hammers. Yeah. I tell you what, I was literally shocked. Are you fucking kidding me?
Everybody in the world was shocked, even casuals, jaws dropped. Now, I will tell you this. I agree with you. I don't think that it plays out like that again. I also agree with you. I think that Conor can probably snuff out Jose if they get a rematch. I do think that he is a special type of striker, but at the same time, I want to just, if for any amateur fighter or UFC fighter out there, Conor McGregor fires out a hard straight left. Learn to defend that. Don't lean your face right towards his left side. You'll do much better. I mean, come on. Jose Aldo, known for his movement, known for his leg kicks, starts off with a wild punching exchange. Good thinking, Jose. Good thinking, Camp. That was good. You fucking shitting me? Nobody said to him, hey, don't get into a wild punching exchange in the first fucking round. Kick him in his legs. Kick him in his stomach. I don't give a shit. Do a cartwheel. First fucking thing he does, a wild punching exchange. So, hey, stupid game plan. He got snuffed in 13 seconds. Congratulations, Conor. What the fuck? Oh, and by the way, I lost the goddamn pick'ems. So next week, if we do a show, I'll have a special shirt that I'm wearing.
Oh, it's gonna be great. And I barely. No, I didn't. I got. Well, okay. Fred Kirby won. Let me see if we can pull up the actual. Okay. Fred Kirby wins the pick'em with a record of 14-8. I got second place at 13-9, and Aaron came in last 11-11.
50-50. And that's all. I tell you what, it doesn't matter. I can pick all Vegas odds, and I will never come in better than 50-50.
Yep. That's about anybody could ask for. Really, with picking fights, man, you got no fucking clue what's going to happen with these things. Like that. That's what makes the fucking sport so interesting. Nobody predicted Conor to have the fastest fucking finish in UFC history.
Well, how about this
championship fight history? You know what I'm saying? So
how about just Kevin Lee, right?
Jesus,
who saw that shit coming?
Nobody.
Right. Nobody.
You know what I mean? It's just that it was just one of those fucking weekends, man. So congratulations, Fred. Suck it.
Okay, now so listen. Let's for the sake of argument, let's say that Conor does not go to 55 because we don't even know what the fuck's happening at 55. Maybe RDA comes out and snuffs Cowboy, and RDA versus Conor isn't as sexy as Frankie versus Conor. So let's run with the idea that Conor is going to stay at 45, and we get Frankie Edgar versus Conor McGregor next, which is a very intriguing fight because both of them are coming off of fucking first round finishes over cats that usually don't get finished in the first round. Starting with fucking Aaron, what do you think about that fight? Now knowing what we know, which isn't much.
I think that Frankie is more durable when hit. Obviously, Jose Aldo just hasn't been hit that way. Because that was very freaky to see him just dirt right to sleep. Frankie Edgar has had to take fucking punishment. That boy takes licks.
Yep.
I think that they both have such completely different movement. I think the big difference between Frankie Edgar and Jose Aldo is Frankie is a hell of a lot smarter.
Yep.
And Frankie is a fucking ridiculous wrestler. I believe he will try to avoid that left hand and immediately take Conor down and keep him down. I think it will be a completely different fight, and if he cannot gas and keep Conor down, I think he'll give him a lot of trouble. Personally, that's the fight I'd like to see. And not to either disprove or prove Conor, because at this point there's no questioning Conor McGregor. He came up the ranks. He's just like anybody else. What makes him different is him. He's made himself different with all of his shit talk and all of his suits and his $300,000 cars and all this bullshit. He's different. He's a good fighter, okay? Absolutely, he's a good fighter. Is he the best fighter in the UFC? I don't think so. Is there people that can beat him in the UFC? Absolutely. Frankie, I think, is a much tougher puzzle to solve. And I'll tell you what, I guarantee you he won't get into a stupid wild punching exchange first time out. Mark Henry will not allow that to happen. Frankie Edgar has great striking coaches. Frankie Edgar might not be a great striker, but his coaching staff is great.
You're absolutely right, and I'll tell you this, you're right. I don't think that Frankie is necessarily a great striker, but Frankie does have great movement. And Jose Aldo doesn't necessarily. He is a bit of a flat-footed Muay Thai striker, and that's kind of what he did. He kind of planted his feet and tried to lunge in and got popped right in his jaw. Frankie, we know, does not do that. He will be fucking bopping all around. He won't be in one spot for fucking no time at all. So here's the deal. I think that for Conor, the Frankie fight makes the most sense next. Because if he beats Frankie, certainly if he does it in emphatic fashion, he could then go to 55 with, you know, all faith and confidence that he had cleared out featherweight and be kind of done with that altogether. And then kind of move to 55 and maybe just go ahead and give him the title shot after that if he can actually beat Frankie. But that's a fight that is definitely, you know, the UFC loves to sell the idea that this guy has never fought a guy like this before. But that can definitely be said about Frankie Edgar. Conor has never really fought somebody like Frankie Edgar before.
Here's another thing that I like about Frankie Edgar. I think they could go on a world tour. And I honestly don't think that Conor could get under Frankie's skin.
Oh, no way.
That's interesting. The mental warfare would be interesting, too, just because, yeah, Frankie doesn't seem like the guy. You know, listen, man, I'm not a massive Frankie Edgar fan, and I think I've just still got a hard-on from the BJ Penn days, but you got to hand it to the guy, man. He went and fought BJ in Dubai when BJ was the god. So you're right. You know, Frankie's not going to get shook. If BJ Penn back then didn't shake you, as much as I love Connor, Connor will not shake Frankie. Frankie, you know, I love Frankie. He's fucking from New Jersey, comes out the Biggie. He will not be shook. That's for sure.
And like I said, I think that's it. I think the mental warfare won't work against him, which clearly it did work against Jose. Because that's all he talks about is how disrespected he was and how he would never do that. But I do want to bring up that too. The mistranslation at the end of the fight. Joe Rogan with his little smarmy stupid ass corrected the translator, not Jose. Jose, from what I understand, did not say that wasn't a fight.
Right.
He said that wasn't much of a fight, and I want to come back and do it again. That fucking weird-ass looking Portuguese, Brazilian, whatever the fuck he is, I've always questioned that guy. I think he paraphrases a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I know.
Because the Brazilian fighter will go for fucking 2.5 minutes. And then the Portuguese translator goes, he says, thank you very much. He enjoyed Las Vegas.
Not my dude.
The fuck he did. He just said something for 2.5 minutes.
And he probably because he said something really fucking stupid. This guy's like, no, I'm not going to fucking say that on national television. The hell are you talking about? Thank you, Las Vegas. Peace. Good night. You know, some shit like that. All right. We're pretty much at the hour. Actually, we're at the hour mark. So let's just really very quickly look over this weekend's card.
Can't we just cover that shit later?
You know what? Actually, quickly before we wrap it up, English does make a good point. Interestingly, he tweets. Interestingly, Frankie is is the only one the Spud botherer hasn't badmouthed.
Oh, that is weird.
And that's kind of true. I haven't really heard Connor say a bunch of negative shit about Frankie. That might be kind of interesting.
You know, if they make the fight, it'll be the short jokes, just like with Chad Mendez.
Pretty good. Actually, if he does the whole Jersey Shore thing, I can get into that.
That'd be great. That'd be great. All right, let's just quickly pick the honestly that like you can argue 4 fights. Make your picks real quick for this weekend. Charles Oliveira against Miles Jury.
Charles Oliveira.
All right, me too. All right, Michael Johnson against Nate Diaz.
Michael Johnson.
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz because Michael Johnson has no urgency in his shit. Anyway, JDS against Overeem.
JDS.
Yeah, JDS all day, all day. Yeah. We just cursed him, but yeah.
Yeah, Overeem's gonna knock him out with the fucking knee now. Yeah. And of course, RDA versus Cowboy Cerrone. I'll go first, Cowboy.
You know, fuck it. I'm going to stick to my guns on this. I'm going to say that eventually we're going to find out that RDA has been cheating his tits off this whole time, and I'm going to say that he goes ahead and snuffs out Donald, and they don't find out yet. I wish Cowboy would win, though. I'm rooting for Cowboy, but listen, if RDA can do that to fucking Anthony Pettis, I find it hard to believe that Cowboy is going to beat him.
I'll tell you what, I wish this was 194 because with that, I would make you shave your facial hair like Cowboy has it on that ranch video.
That fucking facial hair was hideous.
Bullshit. That is badass facial hair is what that is, fucker.
All right, fellas. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Fred, you look like a ginger Q-tip gone wrong. That guy has bad.
See, there you go. Clearly. I should tweet the picture out of that fucking mustache. For all the people watching, if you think that fucking facial hairstyle is cool, we should just wrap this up. That's good.
You think it doesn't look like Dayton cool, you fucking hater? All right.
Oh, shit.
Anyway. All right, anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up?
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously.
Right.
What?
I was right.
Of course you were. We got it.
Get that out, Last reminder.
All right. Anyway, obviously technical difficulties. We weren't able to get Sam Alvey on the show. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna get him in the next couple shows, hopefully.
Or we won't.
Or just depending. Anyway, you know how it goes. We just fucking shoot the shit with you guys. Thanks for watching tonight. You can follow Fred at Kirby_MMA. Doc, what's your handle?
Doc_Robbins MMA.
All right. I'm at Elaw31. Follow Andrew at Revelation137. Just give him a bunch of shit. He's gonna hate me for saying that, but still.
Talk to him about religion.
Oh, he would love you. And then tell him you're a Trump supporter. It'd be even better. Anyway, the page or the show obviously is at Keyboard MMA. Appreciate you guys watching. If we have a show next week, great. We'll talk to you guys then. If not, enjoy your holiday season. And then don't miss the latest of the musing shows. Again, their Twitter is @3 musing idiots. Fantastic fucking show. Definitely watch or listen to it. So thanks, fellas. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a good night.